Warm greetings to our valued viewers. Today, we delve into the fascinating world of Stoicism. The philosophy of Stoicism, an intriguing and thought-provoking concept, was birthed in the intellectual cradle of the Hellenistic age, around the 3rd century BCE. It was introduced by Zeno of Citium and later developed by notable philosophers like Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius. At its core, Stoicism is not just a philosophy, it's a way of life, a guide to leading a fulfilling existence in the face of life's adversities. Stoicism, you see, teaches us the art of developing self-control and fortitude as a means of overcoming destructive emotions. It encourages us to rise above the tumult of life's storms and to navigate through our existence with serenity and resilience. It's about understanding and embracing the difference between the things we can change and those we cannot. Imagine life as a vast, tumultuous sea. Stoicism is the compass that guides us, helping us to steer clear of the rocks of fear, anger, and despair, and leading us towards the calm waters of peace and contentment. It doesn't promise a life devoid of challenges. Instead, it arms us with the mental and emotional tools to face these challenges head-on and emerge victorious. Stoicism also teaches us the value of virtue and wisdom above all else. It reminds us that external circumstances, be they wealth or poverty, fame or obscurity, are transient and ultimately inconsequential. What matters, according to Stoicism, is the quality of our character and the choices we make. In essence, Stoicism is about understanding what we can control, what we can't, and where to focus our energy. It's about cultivating inner strength, tranquility, and resilience. It's about embracing whatever life throws at us with grace and dignity, and transforming adversity into an opportunity for growth and self-improvement. Stoicism, in essence, is about understanding what we can control, what we can't, and where to focus our energy. Now that we have a basic understanding of Stoicism, how does this ancient philosophy apply to our modern lives? Stoicism, in its essence, is about understanding our place in the world and accepting what we can and cannot control. It's about finding inner peace amidst the chaos. And that, my friends, is as relevant today as it was 2,000 years ago. In this era of technology and constant connectivity, we are bombarded with information and distractions. The pressure to keep up, to always be doing something, is immense. It's no wonder stress and anxiety are common companions for many of us. But Stoicism offers a solution. It reminds us that we cannot control everything. We can't control the traffic, the weather, or the opinions of others, but we can control how we react to these things. We can choose to let go of the stress and frustration, and instead, focus on what truly matters: our actions, our responses, our inner peace. Stoicism also helps us to navigate the challenges of modern life by encouraging us to live in the present. It's easy to get caught up in regrets about the past or anxieties about the future. But Stoicism teaches us that the present moment is all we truly have. So it encourages us to make the most of it, to appreciate it, to live it fully. Furthermore, Stoicism teaches us to value ourselves not by our possessions or our status, but by our character and our actions. In a world obsessed with material wealth and social media popularity, Stoicism provides a refreshing perspective. It reminds us that true worth comes from within. In conclusion, Stoicism is not just an ancient philosophy, it's a practical guide to living a fulfilled and peaceful life in our modern world. It's a tool that can help us deal with stress, anxiety, and the many challenges we face daily. It's a reminder to focus on what truly matters and to find peace within ourselves. Now, if you're finding value in this content, show some love by hitting that like button. Having understood Stoicism, let's turn our focus to another concept: the slave mind. This concept may sound ominous, but it's something many of us grapple with, even if we don't realize it. The slave mind represents a state of mind where individuals feel trapped by their circumstances or by the expectations of others. It's like living in an invisible cage, where the bars are made up of fears, insecurities, and societal pressures. Imagine a bird that has lived all its life in a cage. Even when the cage is open, the bird remains inside, conditioned to believe that the cage is all there is. This is the slave mind in action. We become so accustomed to our limitations and constraints that we forget the world outside our cage. We accept our circumstances as unchangeable and stop exploring the possibilities that lie beyond our current situation. The slave mind is not just about feeling trapped, it's also about living a life that is dictated by others. It's about conforming to societal norms and expectations without questioning them. It's about living a life on autopilot, without pausing to ask ourselves what we truly want or need. We may feel pressured to follow a certain career path because it's what our parents want, or because it's what society deems as successful. We may feel obligated to maintain a certain lifestyle because it's what our friends or social media influencers do. These are all examples of the slave mind at work. The slave mind is a trap that limits our potential. It keeps us stuck in a loop of dissatisfaction and discontentment. However, it's important to note that the slave mind is not a life sentence. It's a state of mind that can be changed. And the first step towards change is awareness. So take a moment to reflect. Are you living your life based on your own desires and values, or are you being driven by external pressures and expectations? Remember, the key to freedom lies in your hands. The slave mind is a trap that limits our potential. But don't worry, there's a way out. So, how can Stoicism help us escape the slave mind? Stoicism, an ancient philosophy, offers a way out of the slave mind. It provides a path to freedom, autonomy, and fulfillment. It's not about suppressing emotions or becoming indifferent to life's pleasures and pains. Rather, Stoicism is about understanding the nature of our emotions, our reactions, and our thoughts. The slave mind is a state of being where we feel controlled by external circumstances, by our emotions, by societal expectations. It's a state where we feel we have no control, where we are subject to the whims of life. But Stoicism teaches us that we always have control over one thing, our mind, and that's where our true power lies. Stoicism encourages us to focus on what we can control. We can't control the weather, the traffic, or other people's actions, but we can control how we respond to these things. We can choose to remain calm in the face of adversity, to act with integrity even when others don't, to let go of what we can't control and focus on what we can. Stoicism also teaches us to accept the inevitable. There are things in life that we simply cannot change, no matter how much we may want to. By accepting these things, we free ourselves from the chains of desire and aversion. We learn to live in harmony with nature, with the world as it is, not as we wish it to be. This doesn't mean we should resign ourselves to a life of passivity. On the contrary, Stoicism encourages us to take action, to strive for virtue and excellence. But it also reminds us to be mindful of our intentions, to act for the right reasons, not for the sake of external rewards or approval. Stoicism, with its emphasis on self-control, acceptance, and virtue, provides a roadmap to breaking free from the slave mind. It teaches us to value our inner freedom above all else, to cultivate inner peace in the face of external chaos. With Stoicism, we can learn to escape the slave mind and live a more fulfilling life. We've covered a lot today. From the basics of Stoicism to escaping the slave mind, there's a lot to digest. We dove into the profound philosophy of Stoicism, exploring its roots and its relevance in our modern world. We unpacked the concept of the slave mind, a mindset shackled by external circumstances and the opinions of others. And most importantly, we discussed how Stoicism can liberate us from this mental bondage, fostering resilience, inner peace, and a more meaningful life. Let's quickly recap the key takeaways. Stoicism teaches us that while we can't control the world around us, we can control how we respond to it. It empowers us to shift our focus from what's happening outside to what's happening within us, our thoughts, our emotions, our reactions. This shift is the first step to escaping the slave mind. The slave mind is a state of mental confinement where we allow external factors to dictate our happiness, our self-worth, and ultimately, our lives. It's when we tie our inner peace to things we can't control, things like people's opinions, societal expectations, or unforeseen events. But remember, Stoicism offers us a key to unlock these chains. By embracing Stoicism, we can cultivate an unshakable tranquility, a tranquility that remains steadfast amidst the chaos of life. We learn to find contentment within ourselves, independent of external circumstances. We learn to value our own judgments more than the judgments of others. We learn to live a life true to ourselves, not the life others expect of us. Now that we've journeyed through the landscape of Stoicism and the slave mind, it's your turn to reflect. How can you apply these principles in your life? How can you break free from your slave mind and cultivate a Stoic mindset? Remember, the journey to self-improvement is a continuous one. Subscribe to our channel for more insightful content like this. Until next time, keep growing and keep learning.